Hi there, and welcome to our pitch for the series. Yes, that is the name of the series, spanning 8 episodes, with each having a runtime of around 20 to 25 minutes. Some shows with a similar structure include Ricky Gervais's Afterlife on Netflix, FX's The Bear on Disney+, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge's Fleabag on Prime Video. The series is a gigantic, self-referential, absurdist, satirical meta-comedy secretly disguised as a buddy cop action thriller. I'll just give you a second to process all of that. And of course, it'll obviously be set in Wollongong and feature many well-known locations within the Illawarra region, including the Lighthouse, Taranec Beach, and possibly even the Hill 60 tunnels. It'll also utilise industrial buildings for a fair portion of the setting. In the same way that Breaking Bad put New Mexico on the map and The Office put Scranton, Pennsylvania on the map, we hope to do the same thing through compelling storylines, relatable characters, incredibly unique gags with a little bit of epic cinematography thrown in there as well, of course. Audiences will grow to love the series and garner a cult following towards it that would potentially put Wollongong on the map and make it internationally famous for being where the series was shot. A brief plot description is as follows. 2 good mates who have a passion for filmmaking decide to work together on their first project, and in doing so get together to draft a script. They also happen to work together as detectives for a local firm, and things start to get interesting when these 2 areas of their lives blend together as a result of an unexplainable phenomenon where what they're writing in their scripts happens to occur in their actual lives. Through action, adventures, deception, interrogation, trickery, and a bucket load of chaos, the pair will discover the force behind this phenomenon and attempt to put an end to it all. As you can probably tell, it's quite a meta series.
What we're gonna do right here is go back. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Many different things in the Illawarra have been filmed over the course of many years. However, just for now, I'll be focusing on 3 specific examples. The 2005 TV series Headland, the 2019 film Back of the Net, and the 1983 film Savage Attraction, or Hostage as it's also known. Looking back on these projects helps for us to learn from them, see how they performed, and see what we could do differently in the filming process. Headland was a drama series produced by Channel 7 and lasted for 2 seasons over the span of 58 episodes between 2005 and 2006. It focuses on 2 student counsellors at the South Coast University who guide other students through the stress and madness that comes with uni life and all its struggles. Despite being filmed in the glorious area of Ostermere, the show failed to innovate in any fields, and due to a weak script was unable to grab viewers' attention for long. And when the show abruptly ended in 2006, it left a ton of plot threads unresolved and up in the air. Home and Away, which was a massive success at the time, was on a break in programming, and Headland almost seemed to be made as a temporary replacement, lacking passion and craft behind the scenes. Back of the Net, which came out in 2019, had a similar issue of being received poorly by audiences, considered as fairly bland, boring, and uninspired. Despite being filmed in the Illawarra area, it wasn't a film that really did much to captivate audiences or strengthen the use of the particular location. Savage Attraction, on the other hand, suffers a complete opposite problem, in that it couldn't be more R-rated, offensive, dated, and over the top in almost every way. The plot of this film is crazy, and there's some moments that feel sexually exploitative. One viewer even described this film as having absurd overacting and being quite flat, even dull, despite the storyline. Of course, those are just 3 of many specific examples filmed in Wollongong. We hope that ours can really elevate Wollongong to new and unique heights not seen before in film and media. I would now like to pass over to Mathias as he delivers the international distribution strategies and marketing of the project.
Thank you, Ronan. Hello, Renee, and welcome, team members. I'm Mathias, and I will be overseeing the marketing and release strategies part. Now, to market overseas, we will need brand exposure. And this is where Twitter comes into the equation. Twitter uses communication between a brand and its audience, which allows for user reinforcement through retweeting. Essentially, retweeting allows creators to showcase their offer against competition by showing placed value on the original tweet. and hopefully capturing the excitement of forwarding content and cutting through all the clutter of the internet in a non-intrusive way. Basically, this non-intrusive method can be used as a basic test screen. So, using retweets can demonstrate criticism or praise for content creators to see, and while sharing it to relevant subscribed audiences, that should deepen relationships in the long term. In terms of international marketing, submitting the pilot as a film festival short forces genuine character drama within the constraints of time and space, according to how a short film works. Our pilot should be shown domestically, I reckon, to the Melbourne International Film Festival, and then internationally to as far as Sundance Film Festival and Toronto Film Festival. Trying out national film festivals is a much better screen test than just launching straight away into an international film festival. Additionally, targeting local investors by applying to the relevant festival builds better opportunity for desired investors to share the content around with their social network. Furthermore, podcasting interviews, fan theories, or story teasers would really help market more user engagement through speculation. Podcasts have been known to work with police-centered shows such as Hill Street Blues, and we will use this for our police satire, The Series. Podcast promotions are low cost from the technology such as microphones, editing softwares, and platforms. It is more subscriber-based than corporate, and it could really utilize guest appearances from influencers, bloggers that promote the show, and user interactions online. This cross-promotion can be done with us as filmmakers being interviewed by inclusive guest appearances and our genre-related communities. And this all can be accessed via IMDb profiles and backtrack links and descriptions from podcasts and reviews from influencers and bloggers. This is meant to appeal to a forensic fan base through retweeted podcasts, and it's meant to appeal to the amateur detective persona that would be a marketable trend. The rough expenditure will be approximately between $2 to $5 million, and as we are a guerrilla production basing these figures from distribution deals made by the prestigious Sundance Festival. I'll now hand it over to Tennessee, who is our budget manager.
Hello Renee and the rest of the Screen Australia board. Today I'm here to propose a budget for our series. For this budget I'll be using the Story Development Generate Fund and using the category of an online one-off or series, which allows for under $10,000 per minute of funding. For this, I'm asking for a $758,000 budget, which will equate to $4,737.50 per minute of media. The budget I'm requesting will be distributed between many areas of development for this series. These are as follows. The initial development of the series, which will include storyboards, drafts, and episode breakdowns. Acting talent, with 2 lead actors and a cast of recurring characters throughout the series. The crew, which will consist of a cinematographer, director, lighting technician, sound designer, and set designer. It will also take into account equipment hires, such as a cinema camera, tripods, stabilizers, as well as everything else that may be needed by the crew. Practical effects, such as car chases, stunt coordinators, or stuntmen, as well as the things needed to produce these practical effects, such as explosions and the materials for that. The editing process will also be factored into the budget. For this I'm proposing 2 VFX artists for any CGI elements and 3 video editors. This will also include a sound designer. Finally, it will also cover the employment of a prop artist, a costume designer, and a hair and makeup artist. As you can see, I've provided yourself and the rest of the board with a detailed breakdown of the budget. This breakdown provides relevant information on weekly wages for each crew member, editor, VFX artist, prop artist. I've also taken the liberty of providing the total allocation of the budget, which does include the possibility of reshoots and delays in the editing process. I will now hand it back to Mathias, who will discuss the release strategy for the rest of our series.
Thank you, Tennessee. Netflix and ABC iView have 2 release strategies, territory by territory release and delimitation of genre. Moreover, Netflix analyzes geography and cultural similarity to optimize media consumption, availability of content per country, and the content similarity reaching diverse markets via SVOD. Partnering with local original productions form a smorgasbord of tastes for users. Netflix has a very delimited approach to genre classification that turns invisible niches into a starting point of exponential interest when presented differently, whilst in the limelight rather than a midnight screening. Tellingly, genre labels allow for easier classification of programs and for content acquisition, and Netflix uses this as a starting point to categorize content. For example, subgenres such as psychological horror or spy can be placed into bigger, more basic algorithmic pools, such as thriller or horror, which puts niches into the limelight successfully. Likewise, ABC iView claims Australians have an expectation to find where they left off or returning back to watching content, and thus the option to save favorites and recommendations from algorithms or browser tracking cookies are all built from shared preferences to tailor the viewing experience. This would help promote all these Australian stories and Our One, the series, to share our national identity with our diverse, all-inclusive stories, locations, and cast members internationally. Thank you for listening to our pitch.